What's good, YouTube? Today we're discussing my Houston Rockets. And bro, genuinely, I'm recording this the day after. Bro, I had nightmares. Bro, I struggled sleeping last night, just thinking about the Golden State Warriors. Bro, these demons from the Bay Area have been haunting me. I've been haunting my Rockets for the past 10 years, bro. I'm tired of these guys. But yesterday's game, it was a heartbreaker. There was moments. Look, we'll discuss it. We'll get into it. First things first, we're gonna start off with the Houston Rockets. They did what they were supposed to. They did what I expected them to. They got offensive rebounds. If you don't know, they're the number one offensive rebounding team in the entire league, and they showed that tonight. Especially with Steven Adams, he went out and got them 5 offensive rebounds just by himself. In total, we had 22 offensive rebounds. I think the Warriors only had maybe around 6. And that's really what kept us afloat. In that third quarter run, the third quarter, we were really clawing and inching our way back into the game because at some point we were down around 22 points. And then in the third quarter, you saw that we were just getting offensive rebound after offensive rebound. And we were able to work our way back into it. That was all negated, though, by the fact that we had 16 turnovers. Your offensive rebounds mean nothing if you're giving over the ball 16 times, and the Warriors are going to capitalize in those fast break opportunities. If you have to negate those turnovers if you want to win, you're not going to be able to lose a turnover battle and still win this game. Man, it was just like... It was real hard to watch. It was real hard to watch, especially watching Jalen Green, bro. If you know Jalen Green, if you know Rockets ball, you know that Jalen Green is either going to look like Kobe or he's going to look like the worst player on the court. And unfortunately, last night, he looked like the worst player on the court. He shot 3 of 15 from the field, and it was just really bad. Like, the shots just were not falling. He was getting good looks. You know, there were some shots which, yeah, he did have to force up because our half-court ball, the Rockets' half-court ball is just so terrible where if you have like 6 seconds left, I can't really blame you if you're just going to chuck up a shot because if you're Fred VanVleet, you're Jalen Green, you kind of had the green light to do that because you're the only players that could really facilitate and operate in the half-court setting. But even Fred VanVleet, he had a terrible game. He had an absolutely horrendous game, and he was trying to get it going. He had some good looks. He was going for shots, which he typically makes. He was 4 of 19 from the field, and then specifically from 3, he was only 2 of 13. You have to hit those give-me shots, and we just weren't able to do that last night. In that third quarter, we were able to, I think we brought it down to maybe like a 11-point game, and then and like halfway through the fourth, we had it around it was like a 3-point game. It was looking good. I felt good about it. I thought that, maybe we could keep it competitive, but then you just saw Steph Curry just hitting the most absurd shots. I remember there was one possession where it was like the refs really did a BS call. I ain't gonna lie. Look, conspiracy theory. The refs are gonna make it NFL style. They're gonna give them the Mahomes treatment. I'm just trolling, but there was this one call. The refs, they wanted to be Lakers and Golden State. I'm not coping. I am coping. But there was this one possession where it was Draymond who knocked the ball out of Jabari's hands, and it looked like it was off of Draymond very clearly, but we didn't have our challenge. The Rockets didn't have it. Ime Udoka already used it on the possession before, which was already an unsuccessful call. So the Rockets, they didn't have the challenge, and it was clearly out of Draymond. And then the set opens up where Steph Curry inbounds the ball, and within like 2 seconds of inbounding, just 6 seconds on the shot clock, he just chucks up a deep 3 right into Ben Thompson's face and splashes it. And that really just sucked the momentum out of this team. And then from there on out, we went down on like a 10-something run. And next thing you know, we're down 10. We were just down 3. And then next thing you know, the Warriors, they really just... This is the difference between a team that has closers and a team that doesn't, and shows you the importance of it. The Rockets, in the regular season, the reason why they were able to become the second seed was because they really made their bread and butter of getting points being offensive rebounds, first of all, and then fast break opportunities. In the playoffs, the game slows down. It's just how the game is in the playoffs. You're not going to get the calls which you usually did in the regular season. And then on top of that, a lot of your settings are going to be in the half court, and the Rockets are a terrible half court team. which is why it was apparent. It was necessary for my boy Jalen Green to not look like freaking Brandon Knight. My boy Jalen Green needs to step up. He's been talking about he's watching tape. He wants to be like Kobe. He wants to be like Jordan. Brother, you have to hit the shots. I'm rooting for Jalen Green. I want the Rockets to make Jalen Green the centerpiece of their offense, but you have to hit those easy opportunities. And I feel like the only shots he really made was when he drove in and got those layups. And brother, if that's what you have to do, if that's what Jalen Green has to do to get those opportunities, maybe you should try to aim for those type of shots rather than chucking it up. And I'm sure Ime Udoka is gonna adjust. He's a great coach when it comes to adjustments. First things foremost, they gotta reduce his turnovers. And shout out to Jabari Smith Jr. and Alperen Sengun. They really did keep us afloat. Jabari didn't play too many minutes, but I think he was like 3 for 3 from the field. He didn't miss many shots. He didn't miss a shot. And he was showing heart. He was showing hustle. He was getting offensive rebounds. He really kept us in that game, especially in that third quarter run, which we did have, to make that 22-point game a 10-point game going into the fourth quarter. Shout out Jabari. And then Sengun, he played a phenomenal game outright. He hit this ridiculous step back. I was like, damn, but I didn't have that. I didn't know you had that in your bag. So shout out Sengun. He needs to keep exactly what he did that previous game. And it's not even like the Warriors were playing bad defense. Draymond Green was playing phenomenal defense. It was just better offense from Alperen Sengun. But, yeah, so shout out Alperen Sengun because he really was the only person that kept us from being like a 20-point blowout, him and Jabari Smith Jr. And if I was Ime Udoka, I'd give more opportunity to Jabari in that next game, have him play more minutes. And really, the key to victory for the Rockets, I still think it's Amen Thompson. He needs to be hungrier. He only went for like 8-9 shots this entire game. I think that he should be the one who's really going and, attacking the paint on the Warriors, because the Warriors, they expect us to kind of give up shots in these half-court settings. But if you're Amen Thompson and you go and then you take the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander approach, where you just drive in like 1,000 times a game, get to the free throw line, that seems like it could help when the offense of the Rockets does stall. Amen Thompson is driving in, taking it to the cup, and get fouled, go to the free throw line. Just be aggressive. The Rockets, they all of them together as an entirety of a team just need to continue to stay aggressive, and they really didn't show that in the first half of the game. They were giving up bad shots. They were letting the defense kind of like hold them down. You need to have those guys, those super athletic guards, wings, like Jalen Green and Amen Thompson, just driving in and taking it to the Warriors and forcing them to get aggressive and hold up in the paint, draw fouls if they have to. So if I'm Ime Udoka, I'm really putting an emphasis on that, putting pressure on the Warriors. But now, let's discuss the Warriors side of it. Bro, this guy Jimmy Butler, bro. This guy Jimmy Butler, bro. Look, if you know me, right, Jimmy Butler is one of my favorite players of all time. I've always said he's one of the most underrated stars the league has ever seen. He's a playoff riser to the highest extent. This guy, when he gets into playoffs, he literally turns into LeBron. You've seen it time in and time out. Jimmy Butler, I want to root for him, but this is a situation, this is a scenario where I can't be rooting for my boy. But, bro, this guy, Jimmy Butler, when Jimmy Butler hit that 1-3, and he looked back into the crowd, the announce table, and he said, I know you like that. That's when I knew. That's when I knew that it's not going to be the Rockets' day today. Jimmy Butler played a phenomenal game. You saw him have, what was it, like 5 steals? This guy had 5 steals. And those 5 steals, right then and there, that's a prime example of what I meant by losing the turnover battle. Jimmy Butler was a big part to doing that. He and a lot of the turnovers of the Rockets, they were really sloppy turnovers. It was like rookie mistakes. And the guy who's a veteran like Jimmy Butler, he's going to capitalize on opportunities like that. Jimmy Butler played a phenomenal game offensively. He passed the ball very efficiently. He damn near had a triple-double, and he had 5 steals. So you couldn't have asked much more from Jimmy Butler. And then Steph Curry, man, this guy's not human. This guy had 35 points, but it wasn't just a regular 35, bro. He was hitting shots which, like, it was like from the Olympics. If you saw what Steph Curry was doing in the Olympics, he was doing the exact same thing in this game. he was just chucking it, and he was surprised. He was making the shots. If you look at the look on his face, he was like, "Yeah, I'm like that. I'm cold." He was hitting absurd shots, but that's Curry. He's an all-time great. He's the best shooter of all time. He's gonna be hitting shots like that, and some games there's nothing you can do about it. Amen Thompson, he was playing good defense on him. Fred VanVleet, he was playing some really tough, gritty nose defense on him, but that's Steph Curry. He's gonna hit those shots. And that's another aspect of why the Rockets, like, I'm fearful for them. I'm scared for them, is because it goes back to the actual recipe of the Warriors for, like, ever since they were a team. Ever since Steph Curry joined the team, threes are more than twos. If you're a team that struggles to get three-point shots, like the Houston Rockets are, and you're facing a team which is three-point shots is their bread and butter, bro, threes are more than twos. And if those shots are hitting, it's going to keep you out of the game. And you have to do something else, like getting the offensive rebounds and like mitigating the turnovers to keep it competitive. So shout out Steph Curry. He absolutely balled out yesterday. Like, he this guy, he kept me up at night. Steph Curry kept me up at night. Now, when we're talking about the others when it comes to the Warriors, including Moses Moody and Brandon Podziemski, they really didn't have to do all that much. Pods had a decent game. He had a pretty good game, to his standards. But Moses Moody, he didn't play. He had his first shot make, I think it was in the third quarter. But that's the thing I'm worried about. The others, like Post, like Draymond, they didn't have to do much, and the Warriors still won this game. Now imagine if those others, like Buddy Hield, are hitting their shots. If they are incorporated more into the offense and they're hitting their shots, and the Warriors are still winning without them, it's just not a good look for the Rockets. It's a scary look, because the others really didn't play well. They didn't contribute much. And I do think the Warriors could win this series without the others doing much. But when it comes to the next series, let's say, I'm not counting the Rockets out by any means, but if the Warriors do win this series convincingly, whatever it is, it ain't going to happen. But they'll face a team like the Los Angeles Lakers or the Minnesota Timberwolves next. And you're going to need those other players to step up, because when it comes down to it, it's not just going to be a two-man show that's going to be able to carry you all throughout the playoffs. You need those other guys to step up, and we didn't get that from the others today, but they still won, and that's what worries me as a Rockets fan. But all in and all, overall, the Rockets need to be better in the half-court setting to keep this series competitive. I enjoyed last night's game. If you're like an old head and you enjoy and you miss the NBA, this was the game for you. This was the game for you. It was hard-nosed. It was physical basketball. Low-scoring game. Moses scored like 95, 85. It was a low-scoring game. If you enjoy that type of ball, that old-school ball, this was the game to see. And I'm excited for this series still, even though game one didn't go our way, didn't go the Rockets' way, I'm still excited for this series. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I enjoy games like this. The ones where it comes down to that, that physicality. I'm really excited for it. The Rockets need to have a better half-court offense that's necessary for them to take a few games and, make it a series. I have the series going to 7. I think that prediction still stands for me. I think it's going to be a 7-game series, and I'm really excited for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below, subscribe, comment down below what type of videos you want to see next. Once again, any type of love is appreciated, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Take care.